I wanted to ask you first about Dwight because he was on CNN last night and it's shared that he was planning on joining you guys in Orlando, and just kind of wondered if you had been in communication with Dwight, as we know you were last time that we had spoken, and also what he's been for you guys this season, what kind of presence he's been on the court now this season.
I think everybody knows what kind of presence he's been for us. He's obviously a key piece. Everyone's a key piece on our team. Took a blow, took a hit when Avery opted out, but we got a lot of good pieces. We got a lot of experience, and Dwight has been a good spark for us off the bench. Paint protector, and it actually changed a lot of games for us. I have been in communication with him. I checked on him even before he was deciding not to play because he was going through a lot when the pandemic first hit and started. So I was making sure I was checking in on him. But as of late, I think we all have spoken to him and checked in on him. Happy for the news. I mean, it wasn't surprised to me. He said I have been talking to him, but it seems as if his news has been on CNN a lot or other networks. But I'm glad he's with us. I'm glad he's on board, and I'm excited to have my guys back again. And hope in the bubble. I mean, it's uncircumstantial atmosphere, but we got to do what we got to do and bring the chemistry back alive in Orlando. I don't know if that's even a word. Uncircumstantial, is that a word?
Follow up on that, you said on your show, I think maybe a couple weeks ago, that you thought that Dwight would join you. Had you been able to talk to him since then? What was sort of your journey with sort of following along with that and your understanding?
So the last time I spoke to you, I think was the last time I actually talked to him, and that wasn't too long ago. It might have been a week or two ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I said, I reach out to him like every couple weeks. I figured he'd be back here at this point. Which he might be. I said we have different groups coming in. We don't know who's coming in sets. Like we have a wave of guys come in the morning, wave of guys in the afternoon. So there's some guys I may see, some guys I may not see. So I'm assuming everybody's here at this point that's with us. But I would probably check in with him soon. If not, I'll see him Thursday on the plane, I'm sure. Be able to chop it up, and I'm sure guys will social distantly gamble or have stories to tell or catch up 6 feet apart. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Danny, you talked about the chemistry on the team. How do you think that J.R. Smith is going to kind of fit in with that?
Well, JR's played with a lot of guys on our team, so we have an experienced team. So a lot of these guys have played with JR before, and JR's been in the league 14 years. Everybody else has been in the league on our team, probably an average of 8+ years. So if you haven't played with him, you played against him, and everybody knows him from being around the league. It's a fraternity end of the day, and we all kind of respect each other, understand each other, and off the court, outside of competing, it was a brotherhood. So I've known JR since high school days. A lot of guys have known him since high school days because we're all around the same age and played against him since then and been playing against him since the league. And obviously he's been around LA for a while. He's been working out here, so I think he'll gel just fine. Obviously he's a specialist at what he does. He makes it easier for himself and easier for us to play with him. He spaces the floor. Active big guard that can do different things, but mostly a floor spacer. And once he gets the system down, I think he'll thrive easily.
Hey Danny, how are you feeling about heading into the bubble?
How am I feeling about heading into the bubble? I'd rather be playing here with the fans, but I think we're just all excited to be playing again. It doesn't matter where. Obviously, the bubble and the rules and the things that we've read and seen aren't the most exciting thing to be looking forward to. But at this point, I think we're ready for it. If you're not ready, I don't know what to tell you, but at this point we're ready as we're possibly ever going to be in that type of atmosphere. But I think our team has an advantage because we have older guys, guys that like to be themselves, stay at home, have families, and have done the partying. We don't need to be out in the streets or get antsy. A lot of guys have been through that lifestyle, so we're easily, I think, ahead of the pack when it comes to guys that can sit still and sit at home and not have to worry about being on the scene or doing a bunch of stuff outside of the house. So hopefully that helps us to our advantage.
Hey, Danny, I was curious how much input the players had in selecting the messages that have been approved for putting on the backs of jerseys, and also how do you kind of see the social justice advocacy you guys are going to be trying to do over the next few months? How do you see that playing out?
Well, all I can do is hope for it to continue, or even be better, stronger, take off for the better. Because if we use our platform the right way, we can even have more attention, more progress toward that aspect of what's going on in the world. There's obviously a lot of things going on in the world, but that's more important to us more than anything. But I think the players and the Players Association did a great job of helping, of communicating what guys want on their jerseys and what the main statements needed to be said or heard or revisited or emphasized, so that the world, is not distracted by, no, it's just basketball, forgetting about what's really going on. It's still basketball, but there's other things going on, even though we're watching sports. So if we continue that, obviously I don't think it's going to stay in Jersey the whole time, but if we continue to use our platforms, use our voice, and continue to focus on that and emphasize what's really important for us, our passions, I think it could be very useful, and hopefully continue on the path that it's been on and get some progress of the justices that we've been looking for.
Did you guys as player reps, did they consult you guys about those phrases, or was that something that they sort of came up with and came to you guys with?
Didn't really consult with me, or I don't know if Doug, you have to ask him. I think it's something that they probably spoken to some people on. I don't think they talked to every player rep, but I'm sure they got some feedback from many different people. I did a poll as well on my podcast to see which ones people liked. I'm sure they probably did some type of poll or survey, or just talked around the league from the top guys or the board of the Players Association, and got some good feedback. So they came up with some good ideas, some good. They had a good amount of options, first of all, and they had some really important ones that stood out and I guess made a statement, and that's the biggest thing, and letting people understand and not forget of what's at stake here, what's at risk, or what we're trying to get across.
All right, Dave McMenamin, I'm not sure if you asked a question yet, but
I haven't. Hey, Danny. Is there any way you could put into words, like this season, like this Lakers season has felt like?
A roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's just, we've had a lot of fun. Obviously, there's been a lot of ups on the court when we're having fun, but outside the courts, there's other things that's going on. When we went to China, and then a lot of people passing away, David Stern, Kobe, the pandemic. So it's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of crazy things of the unknown. It's been very much a mystery, but it's kind of been like a roller coaster in a cave that you don't know where it's going to end, or how it's going to end, or where you're going to.
Is there any way that your experiences so far can help you guys mentally going down to the bubble, do you think?
For sure. And obviously the goal is to be the last team standing. That's what we want ultimately. But even at the end of the day, and if that doesn't happen, I think personally we all as individuals become stronger, but as a group, I'm pretty sure, if we don't get it done this year, we come back next year with the same group, we'll be that much stronger. But I think the team that does end up being the last team standing, which I'm hoping is us, we stay healthy, is gonna, I think they've gone through a lot of perseverance to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's probably gonna be an asterisk next to the championship, and I think it should be for the good sense, because it's some circumstances not easy to perform at your highest level, especially when we're going through restarting, stopping, setting over, resetting, not having your family and friends there for a while. It's just a different time right now for all of us, and it's weird.
okay, Dan Wakey, please.
Hey, Danny. Congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you.
How important is it to you as a player in this that your medical privacy is kept private? Obviously, some leagues have named players who have tested positive, others have not. And is it realistic, once you guys get in the bubble, to kind of have those types of results still kept private?
It's realistic. I said it all depends on the team and the player. I think the people's names that have been named, I think it's a decision of the player to let maybe I might be wrong, but if the player is okay with their name being released, then they'll release it. But if they're not okay, then what I'm saying, they'll just keep it private. And I think you can still keep that private within actually in the bubble it probably won't be private, because you'll notice who's not playing if they're quarantined, who's out of the roster, who's not playing, who's sitting out that night. But right now, I think it's pretty easy to keep private.
Along those lines, are you concerned at all that from a union standpoint, that teams may use, because no one really knows the long-term effects of this virus, that teams may use that against players in terms of contracts and stuff like that moving forward. So player test
No, I don't think so. Because from my understanding, most guys that have got it in our league have beaten it and are in great shape, asymptomatic, and I don't think there's any long-term effects or scientifically we've heard of yet. I don't think they would. They shouldn't. That's all I can hope, but I don't think they would hold it against them. Dirty Harry, what's up, man?
Okay, Bill Oram. Hey, Harrison.
Hey, Danny, you talked so much about, obviously, what this year has been like and the ups and downs, and obviously through each of those we've talked about LeBron's leadership through those trials for this team. I'm curious, over these last 4 months, what he's been like, and then especially you guys have been able to be back in the gym and in individual workouts. What kind of...
He hasn't changed at all, man. He's been the leader. He's always been from day one. Continue to communicate with us, letting us know what's going on in terms of on-the-court workouts where we can find a gym, and even off the court with player association and justices of coming together and what we need to do, platforms, of using the platforms, just everything all around. He's been a great leader in that sense. And even here now, he doesn't lead just by his words, but by example. He's in the gym early and he's leaving late, and he's the last guy working and probably working the longest and the hardest. He's been great, man. He's been the same guy consistently always, and there's a reason why he's considerably one of the greatest of all time.
Can you feel how important this is to him this season and being able to finish this season?
For sure. We all know, not just him, but we all know that it's coming toward the end for most of us. You don't get opportunities like this. Most of us have been in the league for a long time, and the guys that have experienced it have been blessed enough to know how hard it is to get there. The guys who haven't and have been in the league for a while know how hard it is. So you don't get teams like this. So we know what's at stake here, and we might not get it again. The guys are getting older. Some guys may not be at 100% health or be perform at the level they are this year. Some guys may leave, free agency, things change, things happen. So we all know on our team, with our experience within the business, of what's at risk, and that if we have a special group, you better take advantage of it this year, and he knows too. So being year 17 for him at 35 years old.
All right, Kyle, have you asked a question yet? I know you wanted to.
Yeah, but I actually did have a follow-up, if that's okay.
Sure.
Danny, obviously, it's kind of been a little bit adaptive in terms of your training and what equipment you can use and what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you physically right now, and how far is the gap between where you are now and where you want to be for your competition already?
I'm pretty solid, man. I feel pretty good. I've been working out because I didn't think we'd be out that long. So about 2 weeks after quarantine, I thought we'd be back within a month or so. So I started going in pretty hard from the start, just running hills, running the beach. But time kept fading. I was like, we'll be back soon. So I just made sure I stayed ready and figure out ways to work out. But and then the toughest thing is just adapting to playing. You can't simulate playing 5-on-5. But getting some work in, shooting, I feel pretty good. I think I'm probably about 80%. The other 20% is just get up and down, going 5-on-5 and getting in game shape. But outside of that, I think I'm in pretty solid shape.
Let's get ready for HoopJab.